had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
On first down, Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender. From there, he doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, first and goal. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here's Mahomes, third and goal. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great sixth sense, maybe even a seventh and eighth. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Here's Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. This is intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake. Yeah,
he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on first. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Mahomes now on first down. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Mahomes will try again on second down. Flush to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Now it's Mahomes again. Catch is made by Hardman. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Man open left side, it's Williams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 41 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Looking sideline, incomplete.
The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Will Fuller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Call it a loss of 5. A big sack to bring up 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. With touchdown number 27, that ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
On fourth down, Sam Martin is on to punt for the Broncos.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
From the 27, Mahomes finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Boy, how about the speed with which his offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that will extend this big lead.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
And now here's a carry heading left. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked up by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Mike 18, Mike 18.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
Mike 18, Mike 18. Run it.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And a run like that shouldn't surprise anyone who's ever seen Javonte Williams play. Compact, strong, physical runner. He ran for 1,000 yards at North Carolina last year. In fact, it was over 1,100 and 19 touchdowns in addition. And that's despite sharing the backfield with another 1,000-yard rusher, Michael Carter, who was taken in the 4th round by the Jets. Najee Harris and Travis Etienne were taking over him, but many thought that Javonte Williams might be the best back in the draft.
A give to Williams, running right. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's brought down. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage.
but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
Shedding the tackle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
They go play action with Wilson. And he's got his big tight end here. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0. Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball. It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Play action. It's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0.
And there to make the tackle, Pat Surtain, the rookie first-round pick.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Williams. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. He's got it to Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
99 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Right back to him on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Chiefs, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.